In our tutorial today, let us look at basic manners and skills that help create healthy workplaces. For instance, keeping time at the workplace. Do you keep time when invited to an internal meeting? And do your colleagues always have to wait for you before starting a meeting? And if you cannot make it on time, do you always take some time to inform them in advance that you can't join them or will join later and give a good, acceptable reason? Striving to keep time is a skill that can be learned. If you know you have a meeting to attend at work, plan your schedule early. If for some reason beyond your control you must arrive late, inform people in advance. You rarely get back lost time, and if you do not alert those waiting for you, it clearly shows that you disrespect their time. The time allocated for the meeting will not be sufficient, and everything else will start running behind schedule. You do not want to make your colleagues start running behind schedule in everything they plan to do that day, simply because you showed up late. Nowadays, we are lucky to have tools like cell phones, which if properly used, give us access to free resources that can help us acquire time management skills. The second we shall look at is respecting your supervisors or seniors at work, but not fearing them. When you fear your supervisor or boss, if that's how you call them, you may end up not informing them of a mistake you've made. That can only make a situation worse if they get to find out much later. A mistake may cause delays, missed deadlines, loss of a customer, and even have huge impacts on the company's profitability. Therefore, strive to be open with your seniors and also colleagues. If you foresee that a task you're working on may take much longer than expected, inform those you work with earlier. You can always be assisted. The deadline can be reset, and work can always be distributed if one person has an overload. This helps you avoid unnecessary warnings and show cause letters that no employee wants in their file. And most of all, stress that not only affects your performance, but can later be harmful to your health in the future. If you're new to this channel, welcome and feel free to share your comments below. This is Mildred, and here we discuss people and their issues at the workplace. Let us now look at standing up to greet a senior colleague. For instance, standing up to shake your director's hand in a greeting does not reduce your worth. It is simply basic good manners. It does not make you less or unworthy or the meek and scared employee. This action of standing to greet elders is normally considered courteous. In most organizations across the world, it does not only show respect for the other person's experience, but can also be respect for their age and the position they hold at the workplace. It is an acknowledgement of the other person's seniority, as well as the value they bring to the workplace. Usually this action leaves a good impression to the senior person and easily formalizes conversations. Since both parties become attentive, it is also a sign of good upbringing. It is just the same as greeting your father or an elder in the village. Next, we shall look at etiquette. Simple statements like thank you, you're most welcome, have a good evening, good morning, are not only for those who are familiar with each other at the workplace or those who work in the same section or department. If you walk into a lift and meet several people working in the same building, some in the same company as yourself, a simple good morning will not harm you. Of course, some will respond and some people will not, but it starts your day better and you smile. This is because you cannot say the word good morning without a smile. As simple as it sounds, these are what help us to create healthy workspaces. And now let us look at emotional intelligence. This is a skill that everyone must learn as you join the world of work. Being aware of your emotions, environment, those you work with, as well as some of their obvious circumstances, is an important skill. It is a skill you build over time. For example, if you're amongst 3 or 4 other colleagues who sat for the project management exam and you're the only one who passed, it is insensitive to invite them for a drink the same day you all receive the results. And this is because even if they'll be happy for you to have passed the same exam which they failed, they will not be in good spirits to attend a celebration. In such a situation, You can save the immediate celebration for your family. It does not mean that they cannot celebrate you. It is just that they'll be dealing with their failure at that point. Your emotional intelligence calls for tact and kindness in such a situation. You can organize a private get-together with your friends who failed the exam and encourage them not to give up, but try one more time. Give them tips that will psych them to register again. That is being considerate, and you shall be building a strong social network that will have your back when you are down. This does not mean you should not celebrate with friends when you win. Situations vary and people are different, but I have never heard of someone who celebrates when they have failed. If you have emotional intelligence, it will be easy for you to read in between situations and know how to deal with different circumstances and people in your environment. Misusing employers' time is what we shall discuss next. Did you know that employers have the right to check the sites you visit while at work and using their equipment? Why do you waste your employer's time by visiting social media platforms that do not provide information for your work? If it is a recruiter conducting a background check for a potential candidate, that is acceptable. But it is not acceptable for an accountant who is always on music platforms, downloading music and listening to live music shows, but fails to submit reconciled bank statements, updated profit and loss account, and balance sheet statements for the company each month. Let us now look at the dreaded. Most workplaces have shared spaces like washrooms and kitchens. When you use these spaces, leave them exactly as you found them. It is bad manners to walk into a clean washroom, mess it up, do not flush, and walk out. If you do not do this at home, do not do it at the workplace. You are not helping to create a healthy workplace. Stop being the problem. Some colleagues buy a meal and walk straight into the kitchen office, warm the food, and use the kitchen utensils. But after use, they simply dump them in the sink without washing them. Yet there is a well-written rule just above the sink to please clean the utensils after use. Is that good manners or simply bad attitude? There is a difference between personal issues and work issues. Both are discussed where they belong, at home and at work. Personal issues should be discussed privately on phone and not shared by everyone in the office. When you're speaking on your personal phone, it is important that you walk outside if you work in an open plan office. If you're planning a family get-together on a weekend, your colleagues do not have to hear the discussions with your planner over the phone. This should even be avoided during working hours. And if you must do it outside or in a private office, not a common open workspace. And have the discussions during your break times, not working hours. People get distracted when you discuss personal issues at work. It is important to be respectful of your colleagues and your work environment. The last example today that we shall discuss is that of colleagues who leave paper jams in a commonly used photocopier and rush off for the weekend without clearing it. How do you walk out of that building knowing too well you left a paper jam in that photocopier? Even a simple note left on the copier may help because the next user will know where to start. But just walking away is just bad manners. Can you imagine if this happens to an intern helping to organize an event and who works on Saturdays only? This intern will have to spend the whole weekend tracing a technician to come and solve the matter, and may even have to work the next day, which is a Sunday, so that the workshop materials are ready by Monday morning. You would not do the same thing if your gas cooker gets spoiled while cooking at home. You will look for a technician to resolve the issue or inform other family members if you will not be in. Informing the technical team about the problem before you leave the office will be helpful for the next user, as well as leaving a note that the problem has been reported. That helps the person make a decision on how to proceed. These are just a few of the basic manners and skills expected from employees that help us to create healthy workplaces. Please share below other bad manners you've experienced from colleagues at the workplace, which if changed can help create better workspaces for everyone. Thank you for watching today and hope you've learned something. Please share with others who may benefit from this tutorial.